Well, Joel McHale, you've got Community, you've got The Soup, several potential possibilities here for some Emmy nominations this summer. Tell me about when you've got Community and The Soup going on a given week. What's that week like for you? Is it crazy?
It is pretty crazy because, I also have a wife and 2 children, so, family. It's not like I need to spend time with them. But yeah, those days are really busy, a great busy because, I love working on Community. It is as much fun as I've ever had working on anything. And, E has been so wonderfully accommodating that I usually would start the day at about 6 a.m., getting to work at Community and then, work all day. And then by about 5:30 or 6, I would run over to E, which is about 3 miles away from Paramount. And we tape The Soup, and we start rolling cameras right around 7, and usually we're done by about 8:30, and then I'm back at Community at 9 p.m. for usually a few more hours, and then we come back on Friday. So it's crazy, but it's fun.
We were talking to Dan a couple of weeks ago, Joel, and we asked him what all of you guys were like on the set, when the cameras stopped rolling, and he mentioned that you were all incredibly funny. He named a few of you specifically, especially like Donald, but he said that you were also, love to crack up and make jokes on the set. What's your take on that? Are you guys just constantly mucking around when the cameras aren't rolling?
Yeah. Yeah, we do kind of watch Donald just kind of go off. Donald is extraordinary. And Donald, let's see, 2 years ago, we were all, after our Christmas special, we had been in this huge gang fight. I don't know if you saw the episode. Anthony Michael Hall was in it, and he was tremendous. We all kind of looked homeless, and Donald started playing this character where he pretended he was breaking into our holiday party. This was, after during the in between takes, and he pretended he was homeless and would offer sexual favors in exchange to stay there. And I played the head of the household and was trying to consolation. And that went on for weeks. It went on forever. And it was as funny as anything. He's amazing. And then you got Danny Pudi, who, when you put them together, it's like peanut butter and chocolate. And, wow, that sounded, I was trying to make a Reese's peanut butter joke, but it came out racist.
That's cool.
No, but when you put them together, it's like some sort of superhero, like 2 parts coming together, and they can do anything. And then if you ever do this with Alison Brie, just ask her to do some rapping, and because she will at any moment drop a beat and start rapping. Yeah, and you can tell her this later, but when you talk to her. But I become embarrassed for the human race when she does it, and so it is. But I, of course, encourage it and only want to hear more of it because it makes me fall out of my chair.
We need all of that on the next DVD.
I forgot about when Jim Rash, one of the funniest people, if not the funniest person on television. When he's going, man, he is amazing. And there is they just sent us the a few video samples of the what do you call it, the outtakes, and there is a scene from the drug play we did where he did a one-man game of freeze tag, and as Dean Pelton pretending to warm up the students, and it should itself be nominated for an Emmy.
Yeah, I was just going to interject and say that Kenji, every time he comes on the screen, I just can't help but laugh as well, man. Like, that just must be, you must be feeling. Sorry, go on.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you go. No, really. You must be very thrilled to be on a set like that, because can you imagine going to work and not really being that interested in the people you're with? But these guys seem to be really cool and really funny. That's you're so lucky. That's so cool.
Yeah. I feel like it's this like the Olympic dream team basketball team when they first allowed professionals into the league, and they took the towel boy, me, and let me suit up, and I'd be like, Ken is all, yeah, he's one of those people that is like Rumpelstiltskin. He can spin comedy out of anything. And he's on top of it insanely nice and really cool and a doctor. So, it's one of those things where I'm like, all right, in this scene, Ken comes in and Jim Rash comes in. So no matter what, this scene is going to be funny and it's going to work.
Well, I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about this past season. What have you thought about yet? What episode you might choose for submission to the judging panel?
I have not.
I've got a couple or three suggestions I wanted to run by you and just see what you thought.
Please. Yeah, I would love to hear even.
We've helped a lot of people get nominated and win, so we would love to see you do that. Your character doesn't open up.
If I could reach through this thing and hug you, I would.
That's kind of scary, but okay.
That was scary.
Hug was felt. I appreciate that.
Beautiful.
Your character doesn't get to open up all that much, and I think that's important to an Emmy judge wants to see range. So I was thinking maybe like critical film studies, where you're doing the My Dinner with Andre with Danny.
Yeah.
You really open up about your past, and thinking that he wants to hear all that when actually he was doing another one of his dreams in his own mind. What did you think about that episode?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of billed as the Pulp Fiction episode, and NBC very cleverly didn't go, hey, it's a My Dinner with Andre parody, because no offense against that movie, it did not do the same box office as Transformers. So I was so happy that episode aired, and I had so hopefully, when I submit that I hadn't even, the episodes that come to mind were also the hospital episode where Pierce was in the hospital.
Definitely.
And he threatens to have my dad come. I think that almost becomes pretty serious at a couple, like I'm gonna kill him. So I really liked that, and also that was a parody of, or kind of pointing out all the comedies that use documentary style to tell their stories, and we co-opted that and showed you that we could, we're like, well, here's how these things work, and I really liked the commentary on that episode.
Yeah.
I don't know, what was your other suggestion?
That was number 2, and number 3. Well, they're not in any particular order, but the intro to political science, where you really get to run as a candidate and give some good speeches, and you had some really good moments in that one.
I like that one too. Wow, I don't even say. Is that the one where I did the George Michael impression?
Yes, the video, yeah, or the song. The song.
So
I would say that might guarantee I won't get a nomination, but. No, that was one of those moments where I was like, if I don't fully commit to this, then it will be awful. And, I also like the episode where it was the first one back of the season where Chang, I basically make a pitch for Chang to be in the group.
Yeah.
And, I give this crazy long speech about how, he should be in the group. And it doesn't make really any sense, but it's very it's very passionate. So maybe they'll like that.
You got a really good shot this year. I mean, last year there were so many people coming back, and Emmy voters hate to let go of people they're already nominating, but Tony Shalhoub is gone from this category, and Larry David is gone from this category, so it's wide open to get in there.
Yeah.
It would be great. With the competition we're up against on Thursday nights here in America, it's tough. So I hope there's awareness for it. We'll see. Obviously, things like this will help. I mean, it would be great. If not, boy, did I have I had a lot of fun in the opening number with Jimmy Fallon last year.
Yeah,
so that was as much fun as I've ever had.
Look, I was going to ask you about whether you get accosted on the street by people that you've made fun of on the Soup. Does that ever happen?
Wow, I'm going to choke. No, it actually, I do get accosted once in a while by people that we've made fun of or contestants that we've made fun of, but without exception, they have all asked, and I've said some pretty brutal things. They all want to come on the show, and they all want to be made fun of. It's bizarre.
Oh, God.
And I mean, there might be some celebrities that have a real problem with me, but they haven't let themselves be known yet. But I'm sure they'd like to smack me. We try not to just take shots for the sake of taking shots. We try to, if you're doing something egregious enough that arises above the average Hollywood din, the average noise, then you're clearly doing something.
Joel, are you aware of the amount of critical acclaim and fan acclaim and people on the internet going on and on about how you deserve to be nominated for an Emmy and you're the best comedic actor on TV? Do you ever hook into any of that, or do you just kind of leave it alone and try not to get involved?
I would totally hook into it if I didn't have a 3 and a 6-year-old. Because at any moment something is going to be spat on or spilled into the keyboard, and I have to.
Tell me about it.
I have to move. It's kind of like it's like the Matrix, where at any moment the agents will show up and ruin everything. Or they'll erase. So no, I haven't. I mean, I think that's actually the amount of the fans online for Community and things like New York Magazine voting us that they love the show and things like that have really helped us. And because we knew there was people out there watching it, and then thank God they're vocal. So if those people would by themselves just email all the voters, I would really appreciate it. When we went to I just remember when we went to Comic-Con last summer as the cast of Community, that was the first time I realized, people actually really like this show. And because the fans were so terrific there. That was one of the strangest, most wonderful experiences I've ever had. So that was like, people really love the show. And that was for whatever reason a revelation, because I think we always felt like the underdog.
Yeah.
Well, if you go by the posters and the members of our forums, I don't think there's any comedy or any group of actors that they're pulling for more than your group on Community. I read comments all the time, and they are, it's easy to pull for some of the ones that get nominated every year, but in terms of an underdog, they really want Community to pull through this year.
Oh, that would be amazing. Well, what were you going to say about Dan?
Just real quickly, one of the things I asked him about was the name of your character, Jeff Winger. When we were watching the episode where you were waiting for your long lost father, and even last season, I thought about the name Winger being the same as Bill Murray's character in Stripes, and Dan fessed up to the fact that he did name you after that character, and he said one of the reasons was that Bill Murray is always the champion of the underdogs, and that you kind of fill that bill here on your show. And he said if he could find a way to get to Bill Murray and actually get him to read a script, that's the guy he would like to play your father on the show.
Well, that would be unbelievable. If he would agree. I hear that he's kind of hard to get a hold of. But I would personally allow him to. I would give him my car to get here.
You do kind of champion the underdog in your role here, and it just seems like that would be a perfect fit. The other thing he said was just the simple fact, way back in the 70s, 80s especially, Chevy Chase was that loner kind of a guy. He was always he said he was the consummate soloist. He had the good people around him, but they were he was oblivious to them. He was a soloist, whereas Bill Murray was sort of the champion of the underdog, and that would be kind of neat to see them on screen together. It's kind of in the similar roles that they used to play in the movies.
But if he were to do it, Dan would put aside his Xbox 360 and start writing. So it would be amazing.
Joel, thank you so much for joining us today. We really do hope you have some luck with the Emmys this summer, and good luck for season 3 coming up soon.
Well, thank God for the country of Australia for watching the show, and thank God for the great state of Mississippi, where are we well watched in Mississippi?
We are. I think you get like an 80 share here.
It's amazing.
All right. Good. Oh, great. It's like an NFL football game. That's great. Well, thank you guys. It's stuff like this that keeps, people interested in the show, and I really appreciate it deeply.